Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today hopefully will be a fun video for the holiday season. So basically I'm going to start the video and do some speed reviews of some of my favorite stuff from this month. I have a wide variety of stuff, so obviously makeup, which is my priority and my focus, but I've also got some other random stuff that are kind of holiday or winter related that I just thought I would give you quick speed reviews on. Also after that, I obviously for my face today I've already done like my foundation, concealer, powder, and bronzer. But I'm going to try out some new products. Well, not all of them are new, but most of them are new. So I'm going to apply the blush, the highlighter, use a Too Faced Holiday Eyeshadow Palette, and do a little tutorial with you and kind of give you my first impressions. Yeah, and then we'll wrap this up. So if this is something that you're into, keep watching, and please comment down below and let me know if you like these kind of videos. I'm not sure if people are more excited for just straight up makeup content or if you like kind of seeing other random fashion and home accessories and things like that. So let's just jump right in. So the first thing that I want to talk about is my shirt, which I'm totally obsessed with. It says Merry Christmas here, and if you are familiar with the band Korn, you would probably recognize this font as the Korn font. It's got Santa in a Korn Still a Freak shirt, and then he's got Korn boots here on the bottom sitting on the chimney. So this is on the official Korn merch website. I am obsessed with it. I love it. I usually don't like things with Santa. I've just never really been a big Santa person. But when I saw this and Santa had the Still a Freak t-shirt, I was like completely sold. So check this out on the Korn website. I'm wearing a size small for reference. Probably could have done a medium, but I'm happy with the size small. Probably wouldn't put it in the dryer. Also, I'm curious, are any of you Korn fans? So Korn is my favorite band, hands down. I've loved them for, gosh, almost 2 decades now. Yeah, almost 2 decades now, which is crazy to think about. But I'm always curious to find other Korn fans out there. So if you are a Korn fan, please let me know. You'll probably see me in Korn shirts other times on my channel. I can't remember if I've worn one in a video before, but I love to talk to Korn fans about Korn and their music, so on and so forth. The next thing that I have on today that you may not, let me try to zoom you in here. This is like one of those little stretchy headbands, and it has winter like snowmen and snowflakes and candy canes. This is one of the, it goes all the way around my head. You can, have it over your ears if you want. But I got this from a small goth shop on Instagram called Fear Boutique. These are handmade by the woman that runs the business. It's a one-woman show. She also does perfumes that are vegan and cruelty-free. That's how I stumbled upon her small brand, and I highly recommend the brand. So I love the perfumes. What I recommend, though, is I love the website, but I feel like, actually, let me zoom this back out. So I feel like the brand doesn't do a good job with scent descriptions. It's not that the things don't smell good. It's just I feel like sometimes there have been some things that have not smelled the way that the description describes. So what I recommend is you can pay like a couple of bucks and get little vials, sample size vials of the oil. So it's not perfume, it's like a thick oil. A little bit goes a long way. And you can test any of her scents out before you buy them. And she always does stuff for the holidays, limited edition stuff for each of the holidays. My favorite is Peeps Massacre, I believe it's called, and that was from her Easter collection last year, and it smells like literally burning marshmallows. Absolutely obsessed with it. But she also hand makes these little headbands like this. I think I paid $30 for this, or around $30. You could watch and see if she has a coupon. She doesn't have a lot of coupons, but I feel comfortable paying for quality vegan cruelty-free products that are handmade and that are going to a small business owner. So if you are into kind of the goth aesthetic, or you're into kind of alternative style fragrances that are a little bit different, definitely check out Fear Boutique. Update next, I don't have anything to show you, but I did try out that Humble Bumble bath bomb from the ColourPop Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer collection, and it was terrible. Do not recommend. I will never buy one of those bath bombs from them again. I only got it in the first place because it came in a little bundle set that I bought. I hated it. So I think it was $8. That may not be right, but it fizzed out in like 20 seconds. Once I opened it from the packaging, I could barely even smell it at all. Like, it wasn't like you opened it and then the smell got stronger. It was just a light, tiny bit of a mint scent and then like a clean smell. I would call it a bath fizz, and it felt like something that you would get for like $1 at like a dollar store or like at the Target dollar section or something. Hated it. Would not recommend it under any circumstances. The packaging was adorable, but it was not even a bath bomb. I would call it a bath fizz. So definitely avoid that if you can. But because that bath bomb was so terrible, I was looking for something holiday related that did smell like a minty marshmallow smell. which led me to my next recommendation for you, and that is this Hemp's Whipped Marshmallow Mint Body Moisturizer with CBD oil in it. Oh, I keep hitting the wrong button, I'm sorry. So this is what it looks like. It has little jingle balls on it. So cute. It smells really, really good. I do think it smells like what it says. You get a minty smell, you get a marshmallow smell. I do find that it smells different in the bottle than it does on my body. When I just smelled it in the bottle, I wasn't a huge fan of it. But when I put it on my body and let it absorb into my skin, it smells really, really good. It smells very wintry, holiday. I do feel like, I don't know if it's like placebo effect or I'm imagining or what, I do feel like the CBD does like make my skin feel better. I have sensitive skin. So definitely check this out at Ulta or the Hemp's website. Never pay full price for Hemp's products at Ulta. There will always be a coupon code at some point that will work for them. So if you want to try anything, and this one even, wait till you get a coupon code and then buy it. This is sold out in a lot of local stores. I don't know if it's still available online, but if you're interested in this, you should probably look for it sooner rather than later because it is limited edition. Oh my god, I just broke the candle I was going to show you. Oh my gosh. All right, well, we'll keep it rolling. So luckily it didn't damage the candle itself. So first thing I want to show you, I've mentioned on my channel before, polar bears are a special thing for me and my dad. And so I found this website that I've shopped for years called Charmed Aroma. They do bath bombs, candles, things like that. But inside of them, they put jewelry. So they came out with this little guy. He is a polar bear candle. It's a little bit sootier on the outside because I've been burning it. But I just thought he was so cute. And so I had to have him. So this is the candle. It's like a nice vanilla smell. They still have these in stock as of right now at Charmed Aroma. And it does come with a lid topper, which is a little crown. I personally was not a huge fan of that. I like him without the crown and just kind of sitting like this. And I'll probably repurpose him for makeup brushes. So once I get all the wax out, clean it out, and I'll use it for makeup brushes. Unfortunately, I literally just broke one of these things off. So you see right there, that just broke off. But I don't like the crown anyway, so that's okay. It's not a big deal. And then, as I mentioned before, that does have jewelry inside of it. And so that specific one has like 5 or 6 necklaces that you can possibly get. And this is the one that I got. It's also, let me zoom in. It's also polar bears. Specifically, it's a little big polar bear and a baby polar bear. And then it's got that moon that kind of hangs on the chain there. I thought that was a really unique detail. Love this, thought this was so cute. Definitely will be wearing this all holiday season. It's not sterling silver, but it hasn't turned my neck green and I've been wearing it a lot. So try at your own risk, but I've really had no problems with that brand. But again, wait till things go on sale with them. They will have sales pretty regularly, so don't pay full price for stuff. Always hold out until they have something that is more affordable. Okay, I think one more thing. Back out one more time. This is my purse that I had to show off that I'm been carrying for the holiday season. So it is a really pretty winter hunter Christmas tree green, and it is obviously like an anatomical 3D skull. It goes in like this. There are different straps and stuff that you can wear with it. This is from Killstar. So I love this because it's a quick goth accessory that you can throw on with any outfit and it goths it up for you. So if you're interested in this, definitely check this out. It is from Killstar. Okay, now on to makeup. Yeah, that was everything but the makeup. Okay, so first and foremost, if my skin looks like my foundation does not match my neck, that's because it does not. I tried to put bronzer on my neck to make it match, but unfortunately I ordered this from BoxyCharm on their pop-up shop, which is great by the way, and you get really affordable stuff for cheap, but you have to be subscribed to BoxyCharm to do it, and my BoxyCharm boxes have been terrible. So literally the only reason I've been keeping my subscription is so I can shop the Boxy pop-up store. But they had this. This is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation. I had the matte one. I'm not a huge fan. This one is much better for me personally. The only problem is I ordered it in shade 120, which is the shade I wear on all the other Fenty stuff, but they accidentally sent me 150. So I went ahead, and I don't really know how returns work for BoxyCharm, so I just went ahead and tried it to make it work. I am going to keep it if I wear like a turtleneck, or if I had a little bit of like fake tanner on, maybe I can get by with this shade, so I'm just going to keep it and use it as is. But I'm definitely excited to pick that up in the correct shade at some point soon. And then under my eyes today, I still have concealer on. You can see everything that's already on my face down below in the comment box. I'm going to have all that down there for you. But I am trying out this, which is is it Patrick? No. Patrick Starr's One Size OS. I think that's Patrick Starr. I don't know. I got it at Sephora. I think this shade might be a little bit too dark for me. I got light 1R for light rosy undertones. I really like the concealer though. I do think it's full coverage. It doesn't look drying. And I have super hollow under my eyes. And so I need a concealer that not only covers like darkness, I need something that kind of like plumps and sort of like fills in and doesn't add to the texture I have there. And so far this seems really good. I'm just really not sure what shade I should be. I went and bought this in stores trying to find the right shade. So I'm going to play around with this a little bit more and see if I can find what the actual correct shade would be. But actually it seems to be a pretty good match, ironically, for that Fenty foundation that's too dark for me. So maybe I'll keep this and specifically just use it when I work with that too dark Fenty foundation. Alright, so now let's jump in, I guess, to a little tutorial for you. So I'm going to keep it zoomed in. Can you come let Gremlin out? Sorry, I had to let my cat Gremlin out of the room because he was scratching to go back out into the rest of the house. Okay, so first thing I want to show you are the swatches of the eyeshadow palette, which is kind of like the star of the show today. So I'm going to be doing a first impressions on this, which is the Too Faced Christmas Coffee little mini palette. This is supposed to smell like Christmas morning coffee. The shades here on the side, and I've already gone ahead and swatched them here on my arm. I'm trying to think about what the best way to do this is going to be. I guess like that. I didn't really think about that when I swatched, I'm sorry. Classic Anna there. Okay. So that was the cardboard packaging. This is what the actual palette looks like. This is like tin metal. I purely bought this because of the packaging. If I see anything with marshmallows or whipped cream, I don't know why, but that is just like an aesthetic that I'm drawn to. So the fact that it was Christmas coffee with like the whipped cream and the adorable little gingerbread man, I could not buy it. Now, the color story is not really one that intrigued me. It's a little bit boring in my opinion. So let's pop it open. I'll show it to you. It does have a mirror inside. And this is the palette. So you may see like the shades have been disturbed from where I did the swatches on my arm. But that's what it looks like. It does feel like a Christmas palette because you've got that glittery green in the top corner and then you've got that like burgundy reddish color on the bottom. And then the rest are just a bunch of neutrals, which I think they could have pulled some of the neutrals out and added in some more pops of color maybe, or at least more shimmer shades or something like that. But I wanted to give it a try because usually the formula of these little palettes has been really good, and I think it's a good deal for a Too Faced product. So I think they're $27. And again, I try to hold off until I have an Ulta coupon to use or wait for Too Faced to have a sale. But I did go ahead and pick this up. So I'll be using it for the first time on camera here with all of you. The names on them are super cute. So I'm going to try to show you here. So at the very top here, you probably can't see it at all. It is like a very fair pale white. It's called Cool Whip. It just does not show up on my skin tone because it basically is the same color as my skin tone. The next one down here, this brown is called Warm Me Up. It's kind of a caramel color. Very pigmented, the mattes, everything seemed really nice in the palette. Again, it's just kind of, the browns are so similar to each other in my opinion. I don't know like what the best way to show this is going to be. I'm so sorry, I'll do better next time. The darker one below that one is called Cinnamon Chai, which again fits. It's kind of got a reddish tone brown. This next shade here is the glitter shade in the palette, and I think it's the prettiest one. It's called Holly Shit. Yeah, so they've got a little asterisk on it, but again, that Too Faced is known for kind of doing little risque names. Underneath that one again is another very, very fair color. This one's called Brew Tiffle Day, like a nice pun. Then under this one, we've got a shimmer that's kind of a bronze shimmer called Slow Roasted. And then next to Slow Roasted, that darker brown is called Candy Cane Latte. That is like very faintly a shimmer, and it's like that burgundy red color. It looks brown in the pan to me, but it pulls very burgundy on my skin at least. And then the darkest, just a plain dark brown. I'm gonna think that through next time, I'm so sorry. The dark brown there, that was so awkward, I'm sorry. The dark brown shade is called Christmas Coffee, so it's the shade that like the palette is named for. So everything swatched really well. The shimmers were a little bit dull. I feel like they could have been a little bit more vibrant. Personally, we'll see how they apply to the face in a minute. But I'm excited to kind of dip in and see, you know, if the quality makes this palette worth it for me. I do think that this is a color story that a lot of people would enjoy. So if you're still doing last minute Christmas shopping or other holiday other holidays that have gifts for this time of the year, I think that you may find that that's a good fit for yourself or for someone else if you like neutral colors. And it does give you the option, so like you can pop in that glittery green color or that burgundy red color, and then it has one of the classic Christmas colors in it. I'll probably try to go ahead and work both of those colors into the look today so we can actually see them on the eyes, and then just whatever mattes I end up using, I'll use. So we'll come back to that in a minute. The next thing I'm going to use is actually something I've already used on the channel. I'm just going to pop it on really quick, and that is the Kylie Cosmetics collaboration with A Nightmare on Elm Street. And this is the Lip and Cheek Jelly Stain, which I did not think I was going to like, but I actually ended up enjoying it pretty well. So it comes in a little jar like this, and it's just like a cherry red color. So the reason that I wanted to apply this on camera, even though I've already reviewed it on my channel before, is because I want to try it with a stippling brush. The other times that I've worn it, I go in with my finger, and I'm just curious to see what would happen if I use a stippling brush, because I do prefer that over using my fingers. So please forgive my sad nails. I'm trying to save money for Christmas gifts, so I'm not going to get my nails done until sometime in January, but it will be coming eventually, so just bear with me for now. So this is a Real Technique stippling brush. I've had this for probably 10 years now. I think you can still buy it. I love this thing. It's just my favorite stippling brush. I use it for any kind of blush that I want to use a stipple with. And I like the fact that it has the stand and it can like stand on its own. I think that's really cool. All right. Move some stuff around. I tried to get organized beforehand so that the video would be like more smooth, and obviously it didn't work very well still. Okay, so I'm just gonna go, there's some product in the lid right here, so I'm just gonna like tap into that with the stippling brush. I got a lot on the brush by accident, so I'm gonna try to brush some of this off onto the cap. So that's what my brush is looking like. It literally looks like blood. Which makes sense, it was a Halloween collaboration. If you're curious about that collection, I reviewed the entire thing on a video previously. Alright, so I'm just going to start popping this on the cheeks like I normally would, very lightly, because again, a lot of it is on the brush. So today may end up being a really heavy blush day. And then I'm just going to go over here and do the same thing. I have found that with this particular jelly stain, you have time to work with it, so like I don't mind spacing it out on my cheeks and then going back to the other cheek, because it definitely is a stain and it will stain your skin for sure, but you have time to play around with it and work with it. And I just think it's really pretty. It has a really natural finish. It looks a little bit darker in person than it does on camera, but it blends out really nice. It doesn't disturb powder or your foundation at all. Actually gonna kind of do what I see all the other YouTubers doing these days, where you put the blush on your nose and like kind of drag it over. It seems to be very popular. And as I mentioned in my previous video, I'm just a sucker for a lot of blush around the winter time. So I probably go in way more heavy-handed than your average person would with blush, but I love blush. I love everything about it, and it's just fun. So the stippling brush actually worked great. I just need to remember that for next time, not to pick up so much product on the brush, so not to dip it in quite as hard as I did, because it did leave a lot of excess. So I'm just cleaning that little mess up right here right now. Okay, and then the other thing that I have that's not a new product, it's new to me. I did order the recent Melt Cosmetics mystery boxes. They were phenomenal. If they do them again and you don't have a lot of stuff from Melt, I highly recommend getting them. They are really, really great for the price that you pay, and you get a lot of stuff. So one of the products that I got is this Melt Cosmetics Shadow Play Blush Light. So it comes in a package like this, really cool. And then the shade is just called Shadow Play. And I haven't used this yet. We're going to check it out together, obviously. Trying to not bang things around. So it does come in a plain black compact. It's got the shade name on the back. I assume it's going to be like a pinky color, but in the pan it just honestly looks very white. So I guess let's do a little swatch on the back of my hand just to see what we're getting ourselves into before I put it on my face. Actually, it's just kind of icy white, maybe a little bit of a blue-green teal shift to it. I think that that's a really pretty color for me. I like those really icy highlighters. I know some people don't. It probably depends on, you know, if you want to have a blinding highlight and like what your skin tone is and stuff. But again, it's probably not something I would have ordered because I already have so many highlighters. But the fact that it was in a mystery box is great, and I love that I get to try out new products. So I'm just going to use this little Real Technique highlighter brush. Just dip it in there. Does look a little powdery, so I tapped it off. And then let's just see how it goes on. I'm also pretty heavy-handed with highlighter too, if you are curious to know. So it does look like it has a teal shift to it, which I don't mind. I feel like I don't mind it. I feel like it's green enough that it feels like it's going to work with that green eyeshadow in that palette. So I'm probably going to put that green glitter shade from the Too Faced palette all over my lid. And now I'm just going to really... Normally I'm a little bit more precise, but since I'm trying to not make this video 1,000 years long, I'm just going to go quickly. Always do the tip of my nose, to my eyes, a little excess butter left over on my chin. Yeah, super cute. Alright, I'm trying to not paint stuff. Super cute. Would definitely recommend checking that out. Okay. Sorry. My skin on my face has been itchy lately. I don't know. I think it's because the weather's getting colder here. So the next thing that I like to do, which I figured I would just do this on camera because why not? I like to take a glowy luminous setting mist after I finish my base products and spray my face down. So I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Little Twin Stars. Shake it up. This smells like strawberries. I have a video where I also review this entire collection. And then what I like to do at this point is go in with my beauty sponge. So today, this actually came on my BoxyCharm box today. The brand is Araceli or Araceli, I'm not sure. There were two of them in a little package like this. That's the name of the brand. I'm not sure if it's a cruelty-free brand or not. I haven't had time to check that out yet, but I'll definitely look into that in the future. Obviously, I would not repurchase, even if I love the sponge, if it's not cruelty-free. So now that I've got the spray on, I'm just going to take the base of the sponge where I had used to put my foundation and blend it out, and I'm just going to buff this back into my skin. And the reason that I do this is I feel like it makes everything just really look nice together. So like your bronzer, your highlighter, your blush, it just kind of pushes it into the foundation and it just gives you a really fresh look. I definitely prefer to do this with like a dewy or luminous one. On some days, if I want to look more matte, I wouldn't do that, but I feel like you can see that this definitely made my skin look more dewy. So that's kind of just a preference thing, but I do really like the technique of specifically pushing it back into my skin and making sure everything is really, really set with the sponge. Alright, and then we're going to move on to the eyeshadow palette finally. We're going to get back to that. So I'm just going to grab, I have a random thing of brushes here. I did want to show you, so this is a little bat, actually it's a soap holder from Bath & Body Works that my family got me for a Halloween gift. And I just, instead of using it for soap, I just put makeup brushes in it. So that's where I'm going to be pulling my brushes from. And I am just going to use this mirror. This is an adorable ColourPop mirror with Binks from the Hocus Pocus collection. It's just absolutely precious. I'm sorry, I keep knocking stuff around. I'm out of control today. Now the mirror's dirty because I sprayed the setting spray all over. I'm just having a crazy day. I'm breaking my Bear candle and now my mirror's all foggy and messed up. Alright, that's okay. We're going to make it work. So I'm not going to do a super, difficult look here. I'm just going to try these shadows out and do something quick. So we're just going to kind of get a first impression, like I said. So I'm just going to take a super fluffy blending brush and I'm going to pop into that caramel shade, which was called Warm Me Up, which is this shade right here. I kind of wish there was a cool toned. I prefer cool toned mattes. It's just a preference thing for me, I guess, because my skin pulls more cool toned. So I do wish that instead of having so many random shades of brown in this palette, they had gone in and had at least one cool tone option, but that's probably just me. So on first impression, it's blending out really nicely. I'm just very quickly doing buffing it into the crease. I do go up pretty high into the crease because my eyes are becoming, I should say, more hooded as I get older. It didn't used to be like that, but I found that I do enjoy bringing that up just a little bit since I feel like the texture of my lid is changing. I just do, windshield wiper motions and little circly buffs. Make sure. And that color did great. I feel like it looks like on my eyes what it does in the pan. Very smooth, buttery, good quality. I'm going to add a little bit more, try to even those out. Yeah, so there you go. Very nice. Just like to give a little outline going on there. Next, what I'm probably going to do is go ahead and deepen up with a darker shade on my crease down here. So I'm actually going to go into, let's see, I think I'm just going to do a little smoky look and go into the really dark brown, which is the one called Christmas Coffee, which is on the bottom there, that really dark brown on the bottom. I don't know why I'm dropping everything today. I'm having a hard time over here. So now I'm going to take, this is like a fluffy but like flat brush, like a shader brush, but it's really densely packed. Way too much there. There is a little bit of kickback with these. And I'm just going to go in and deepen up the outer corner. Definitely could probably do this in a way that would be more precise and not so messy. But I'm just popping it in. See what we end up with. I really like this color. I'm glad that they had a color that was actually dark. I feel like a lot of brands are notorious for creating palettes that don't have really deep shades, so that if you want to have a more smoky, darker look, like you don't have it as an option. And I feel like this one actually is a dark enough brown that you can do that, so that's really cool. And basically I just went back over the area where we put down that first color, and then I'm just kind of pulling it out almost in like a little bit of a wing shape there, like that. So I'm going to go back in again for the other eye, tap the brush off. This one's also super buttery and smooth, very pigmented. It's blending out really easy on top of that other shadow. I should say too, I don't have any eye primer on today. I just have that one size concealer on that I put when I did my concealer under my eyes. I just went ahead and buffed it up into the crease too. So there's probably a good chance that if you used a eye primer that these shadows would even do better instead of it just being on a concealer. Let's see. Pretty even, not perfect. So then I'm going to go back in with that fluffy brush that still has that first color on it, and I'm just going to try to kind of clean this up a little bit, blend it out. I like really blown out looks. That's another reason I don't worry as much about how precise they are. I just want it to be really blended out and blown out and kind of have like a little bit of a grungy vibe to it. I really enjoy that. So that's super cute there. So at this point, I feel like if you're someone who prefers neutrals, you could definitely go in with that bronzy color that was a shimmer. Show you one more time. It's called Slow Roasted there, and that one. And you could have a nice little more neutral look. You could also go in with one of these two lighter mattes here and keep it an all matte eye. I think that would be cute. But what I'm actually going to do is go ahead and go in with that shimmery green color. So the first thing that I'm going to attempt to do is put it on with a brush, and then we're going to see how well it applies. And then if I need to go back in to like darken it or make it more glittery and pretty, I'll use one of my fingers. So I think I'm actually just going to grab this ColourPop brush. It's in ColourPop E4, which is just like a very flat shader brush. I use this a lot to pick up glitter shades because it does a good job of packing them on the eyes. And so one more time, just so you see it, I am going to go into the green one, which is the shade in the corner there called Holy Shit. Not Holy Shit, Holly Shit, sorry. I don't know what happens if you cuss on your YouTube videos. I may get in trouble. Alright, so let's just go right in on the lid with this. It's actually applying beautifully with this little E4 brush. And another thing I like about this E4 is I'm not a big fan of doing all the extra work for a cut crease if you're into that look, but what you can do with this brush, because it's so precise and sturdy, is you can just kind of make it look like you have a cut crease going on by making sure that the glitter only goes exactly where you want it to go and round it right out around your eyeball like that. I'm going to pick up just a little bit more and kind of pat on the outside here. I don't want to do the whole lid, I don't think, so I'm just going to kind of do that. And that just looks really pretty. It kept the glitter. I don't think that we need to use my finger or a glitter glue for future use. It'd probably be even more blinding if you did want to use one. So on the back side of that brush now, I've picked up a little bit of that dark brown color, the Christmas coffee shade, and I'm just going to tap that over the top of the outside here. So what I'm trying to do is my attempt at blending the matte dark brown into that glittery color. And I feel like that just makes it look a little bit more seamless and blended. And what it does is it kind of just looks like those two shades come together there. There you go. So it's very subtle, but I like it. I like how that looks a lot. So now I'm just going to do the same thing, obviously, on this eye. I really love this green color. I know I'm notorious for making the comment like, oh, I would buy this palette just for this one shade. So I've been trying to not say that as much, but like honestly, it's true, especially in this case. I feel like this is just a really beautiful green. I love greens. Green's one of my favorite colors. My hair, I don't know if you can tell at the bottom, has a green tint to it. And now Gremlin's back at the door and he wants to come back in. So again, going in with that Christmas coffee dark brown and just kind of doing that same thing I did before on the other eye, trying to blend the two together so it's a little bit more seamless like that. Sorry, I make really weird faces whenever I'm blending. So I think that looks pretty even. So what I'm gonna do now is go back in with that big fluffy blush. I haven't cleaned it or anything, it's just got whatever's left on it. And I'm just gonna start on the outside here and just kind of buff this. Make it a little bit more blown out in case there were any mistakes. Another thing I like to do that a lot of people do is you can just kind of pull it out like this. And then that kind of gives you an elongated shape on your eye. I'm gonna pop over here, do the same thing as I did on that side. Just make sure everything's kind of blended seamlessly. Drag it a little bit. So there's like a nice smoky green look, and I think that I'm going to stop there for my top lid. I am going to try to clean up just a little bit of this glitter on this side. I feel like we could just do like that. Now I do want to go into that burgundy shade that I mentioned before. So I'm going to take a pencil brush, one of these, it's a pretty fat one, and I'm just going to kind of swirl it into that burgundy shade there. Let me show you it one more time. Again, there is a little bit of kickback on this. This is Candy Cane Latte, that burgundy next to the dark brown at the bottom that we've been using. I'm just going to run this along my lower lash line so that we can kind of see this color. Oh yeah, that's really pretty too. It's definitely not glittery. It's just kind of a light shimmer shade. Maybe a satin shade would be a good word. Sorry, you couldn't see what I was doing there. Just going to pull that along the bottom. And I think for a Christmas look, that's just super cute. It may not pick up as well on camera to see the red underneath. Am I as zoomed in as I can be? Yeah, that's as zoomed in as it goes. Alright, so this time I'm going to make sure you can see it. And I just make my eyes really big and just drag the color along the lash line. Usually I would pull it all the way up into kind of that crease spot as well. But since the colors are different, this time I just want to keep the red right at the bottom and stop it right here. And then I'm going to deepen up this side to match a little bit better. Yeah, and that color seems great too. It's very blendable, very pigmented. It looks very burgundy and pretty. So hopefully that's looking good. I feel like it looks a little muddy over here. I may have gotten a little bit too much of that brown. So what I'm actually going to do is take a clean fluffy brush. This one's from BH Cosmetics, and I'm just going to try one more time to like make this not look muddy. And what you may notice is a little bit of that glitter is getting pulled out, which I don't know if I like that or not. I feel like it might be cute. I don't know. Alright. And then for the last thing for the palette, I am going to go in with that matte. It may have a little bit of a satin finish to it. It just looks like a matte white to me. And I'm going to put that in the inner corner. So I'm going to take another tinier pencil brush. This one's also from BH Cosmetics, that same collection. This one has a lot of kickback. So I've gone in with it. It's just that white shade called Cool Whip. And I'm just going to see if that kind of brightens up my inner corner. It may not because it's so close to my skin tone, but we'll see. Brighten it a little bit. So that's good that they have that shade in there. I like it when palettes have something that works really well for inner corner. It's subtle, but it definitely brightens the eye. Maybe blend it out a little bit better. Awesome. Okay, so first impressions of this palette, I like it. I'm surprised. I actually liked it more than I thought I would for the color story. Again, I feel like if I use this, I'm definitely always going to use the green, the red, or that dark brown so that I get like a look that I personally enjoy. I think it's a good palette if you're someone who likes neutral colors. I'm not like super obsessed with it, but I like it, and honestly, I think that the reason that I like it more than I thought I would is because this green shade turned out so well. So if this green had been a bust, or if you had needed to build it up with your fingers or use a lot of glitter glue, I probably wouldn't. But I think that I am confident and comfortable recommending this palette, assuming the color story speaks to you. And really quickly, I'm just going to finish my makeup and I will be right back. Okay, so all I did there was go in with this Urban Decay Freak Green eyeliner in my waterline. I think it's hilarious that I got the Freak liner when I'm wearing the Corn Freak shirt, which is just great. And then I went in with the Huda Beauty Life Liner Quick and Easy. I just got this. I like it. I've used it probably like 10 times now. I don't think it's good if you want a super dramatic wing because the tip is just too small. But if you're trying to just do that really tight line and just give a very slight little baby wing, the tip is small enough to do that. It doesn't tug, it doesn't pull, and you get a nice, even, consistent amount of a good matte black color. So if you're someone who likes a subtle cat eye, this is definitely something you should check out. It's definitely worth the price. Now, another little holiday set, very quickly, that I got at Sephora was one of the sets from the brand Rare Beauty, which is the Selena Gomez brand. And so there was a little kit that had 4 sample size products. So it came with the Rare Beauty mascara, one of her I think they're called lip souffle or something, matte lip cream. And this is just a classic red in the shade Inspire. It also came with one of her liquid highlighters and liquid blushes. I love the little kit. A little bit goes a long way. And basically I haven't used this red lipstick yet. I have other colors in this formula and I really like it. It does transfer, but you don't need a lip liner with it, which is something that I really appreciate. You just put it straight on. So we'll see if this color is as good as the other colors that I've used. And then I've been using this, that's why the tube is pretty dirty, this mascara sample. The first time that I used it, I really liked it. And then recently I haven't liked it as much. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I think I need to test it more and figure out what that is. But I'm not going to put on fake lashes today. So I'm first just going to go in really carefully and just do a little bit along the bottom lash line there. Obviously I don't want too much mascara down here. I don't want to cover up that burgundy and that green in the waterline. So just like that. And then let's go in and you can kind of see how it looks. Now if you just wear this alone with no eyeshadow, obviously the lashes look a lot longer and thicker. But to me a good mascara is going to be something that you can still see your lashes. They look bold, elongated, and you know, like a really nice black shade even when you have eyeshadow on. It goes on pretty smoothly. I don't think it's messy. Obviously it's cruelty free, which is, I wouldn't have purchased it if it was not cruelty free. So I think that I probably will try this in a big size. I think I just need to mess around with it a little bit more and kind of get used to my technique with it. And so this eye that I'm doing first is actually my bad eyelash side, so my lashes are significantly shorter and they don't curl on this side, whereas the other eye does a beautiful job. So sometimes what I do is put 2 coats on this eye and just 1 coat on the other eye so that it looks balanced and even. Yeah, so it's subtle, but I think that it is better than a lot, and I've tried a ton of mascaras, like, oh my gosh, it's better than a lot that I've tried. I do think, I didn't do it today, but if you curl your lashes too, that does help. Sorry for the faces I'm making. And so that's kind of the finished look. What I'm going to do now is dip into it one more time. Go back over on this side that's my shorter lashes. Do some little quick blinks like this. I feel like this gives a good second coat. That looks a lot better. And then whatever's left over on the other side of the wand, I just kind of quickly do the same thing on this eye. That is the better lash eye. Alright, so I'm very happy with that look. This is definitely a fun holiday look. Now, at this point, if I were wearing this outfit and going out myself, I would put on a nice liquid to matte black lipstick. I just feel like that would really set the look off. But obviously, I just mentioned I want to use this little red lipstick sample from Rare Beauty so you can see how it applies. It just looks like a classic standard red. Again, the shade's called Inspire. And I'm just going to put this on. If this application is messy, I apologize. I'm just trying to do it quick so that we can get kind of a first impression here. Goes on really smooth. I really like the texture of these. There's the bottom lip done. I'm going to dip in a second time for the top. So there we go. I think that this performs just like the others. It is pigmented. I would say it's not like crazy pigmented. Let me zoom back out. So again, this is super Christmassy, the green eyeshadow with the red lip. If it were me going out, I would have worn a black lipstick here. But I love this, the formula and this consistency of this. So I prefer liquid to matte lipsticks always. So a liquid lipstick that's not matte is not as good to me, but the fact that it applies and it does stay on, so like at least I can speak to having worn other shades from this exact same line, and they do transfer like when you're eating and drinking, but you still have an even pigmented coating on your lips for like 8 hours or so. So you don't have to do a lot of retouching unless you're probably going to go like past the 8-hour mark. But yeah, so I think that I would actually recommend everything in the video today, except for that really crappy bath bomb from ColourPop, that Humble Bumble bath bomb. But everything else performed well. Again, that Christmas coffee palette is very cute if you like the color story, but Too Faced is always coming out with new little tiny palettes. I've already seen 2 new ones coming out for this Valentine's Day. So if you don't like the color story, don't just go out and buy it because you want one really bad. Wait till there's one that has a color story that you like, and there's already a ton of them out. So even if this one is not your color story or style, go look at all the ones they already have out and see if there's a color story that you like. I'm trying to think. I think my favorite one is called That's My Jam. I used it in my very first YouTube video if you wanted to go all the way back to about a year ago and see that one. But it's very pretty. The quality of these has always been consistent for me. I don't own all of them by any means, but every single one that I've bought has had really good quality. So I think that I am confident recommending, you know, any of those mini palettes to you. I also think that compared to the other Too Faced palettes that came out in holiday collections this year, the formulation of this one is better. The pigment is better. They blend better. You know, Too Faced kind of has a history where their holiday palettes are very affordable, but they're not as good of quality as their regular eyeshadow formula, I feel like. So if you are kind of looking around the Too Faced holiday collection this year, I do think that these mini palettes are a good option. There is another one that's a fruitcake. I don't know what the exact name of it is, but it's fruitcake themed, and it has a beautiful, I don't own it, but it has a beautiful pink, baby pink shimmer in it, which I love. So I may probably, if I had completely ignored packaging, I probably would have bought the fruitcake one, but the packaging on the Christmas coffee was just so cute. I had to get this one again. It's just adorable, and there's even like another little cup here on the back. It's so cute. So I think that that's everything. One more thing I'm going to show you really quick before I go are my shoes. So these are from the brand Hot Chocolate Design, and they do these adorable, all kinds of shoes, but these are their Mary Janes. And so these are actually from last Christmas. My best friend bought these for me last Christmas, but they did come out with like 4 or 5, I don't know how many, but a lot of new designs for the holidays this year. So if you're interested in something like this, you like something kind of kitschy, definitely check out Hot Chocolate Design. They have super, super cute stuff, and I own over 10 pairs of their shoes because they're so comfortable for work, so I highly recommend that. All right, well, I will see all of you in my next one. Happy holidays, and have a good day.